Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Bill Hunter Arena here on NetFront Sports. Thursday, July 2nd for the matchup here between the Edmonton Warriors and the Beaumont Junior Outlaws. Warriors in their home blacks and Beaumont's in their away whites here. Warriors going left to right on your screen. Outlaws going right to left. Refs, the officials for this game, Tony Reed, Wes Kendall, and Zach Kohut. Outlaws battling here to try to take over third place from the Red Deer Rampage. Uphill battle here. They need to win tonight, and they need a sweep of Red Deer by the Saskatchewan SWAT this weekend to set up a rematch here in the playoffs. We've got Kai Morris and Carter Mitchell in the face-off dot here. Mitchell, product of the Sherwood Park Titans. Morris, product of the Edmonton Warriors. Let's play ball. Draw one by Morris, picked up by Allen, and he runs down low. Product of the Tier 2 Titans last year. Gets the ball up top to Hogland. To Bowie. Over to Redlick. Skips it over to Hogland. Up top to Redlick. Over to Andrusiak. Gets it to Bowie. And that's a stop by McLeod. Rebound picked up by Kai Ellis here in his first game back from an injury. Good to see him back. A big fan of Kai's game. Lots of bobbling going around with the ball. Chase Richardson runs over top of it. Grabbed there by Owen McKenna over to Brownlee. Brownlee down low to Jamieson. Jamieson over to Manning. Tries to jam it into Jamieson on the crease there. Picked up by the affiliate, Jacob Vetter of the Posse, and he's being pressed by Hildebrand. And he turns it over. It's a loose ball. Still keep playing. Ball grabbed by Jamieson, being pressed there by Warwa. Picked up by Owen Morrow. Owen Morrow, a product of the Warriors organization. Ball picked up by Noah Keller. Keller on a breakaway here. Stick checked by Warwa. This is Keller, recently added from the Junior A minors. That's Quinn Patterson defending on Bassinger. Gets it low to Morris. Morris over to Bowie. To Hilkowicz. Hilkowicz being pressed by Patterson. Carries it high. Tries to send it over to Bassinger, and he misses it. Ball grabbed by Keller again, and he's running. And he bobbles it. Grabbed by Hilkowicz. Being pressed by Rhett McIsaac there, the affiliate from the Tier 2 Warriors. We've got a breakaway here for Sam Hilkowicz on Reed McLeod. Good stick check there by Carter Mitchell. Carter Mitchell tracked him down. Ball picked up with Hain. And they're pushing it. They've got numbers 5-on-3 if they want it. Ball's with Ellis. Skipped it over to Lewis, and he bobbles it. This ball's going the other way. Grabbed by Mitchell. He's running downhill here. Being guarded by Virchek. To the net, Carter Mitchell. Tries to go 5-hole, and he does. He buries it on Bialik. 1-0 Outlaws. That's one Bialik's going to want to have back here, folks. Carter Mitchell's been on an absolute tear recently. Phenomenal. A couple weekends ago, he played up with the Junior A minors. And he hasn't looked back. He's been an absolute stud for the Outlaws this year. One of the best kids from this past draft. I'd say he's going to be a problem for Junior B teams in the future, but he'll be a problem for Junior A teams in the future. Face-off between Hugh and Morris, picked up by Kyle Jamieson there. Turnover forced by Blake Cameron. Not sure what's going on there. Warriors need to pick up the ball here. Andrusiak has it. Over to Nicholson. Dylan Nicholson back from injury. Good to see Hogland with it. Over to Andrusiak, a product of Westlock, Alberta. Tries to skip it to Bowie, and he misses it. Picks it up off the wall, though. The ball's going to start with Kyle Jamieson. He goes down the floor to Lewis, and it's picked off by Markel. Markel to Andrusiak to Nicholson. Big stop by Reed McLeod. Another good year so far for Reed McLeod. One of the better goalies in the Tier 1 North Division. Ball is picked up by Hain, but it's turnover force. He has to push it over. Grabbed by Manning. Goes to Ellis. Ellis comes over top. Outside shot. Tries to go 5-hole on Bialik. And that's a big stop by Lucas there. Good to see Ellis back on the floor. Huge fan of his game. Loose ball picked up in the corner by Keller. That's going to be a reset. Look for Keller to stay and play some offensive shifts here. Tries to jam it into Lewis, and that's a forced pass. You don't want to make that. And Bialik overthrows it too. It's going to be retrieved by Kai Ellis there. Ellis being pressed by Cameron, goes low to Lewis. Hits Mitchell running downhill. Being guarded by Owen Morrow. Over to Lewis. Outside shot by Lewis, just misses far side. Ball's picked up by Trenton Redlick, and he's going to be tracked down by Carter Mitchell. Mitchell trips, and that's a goal by Trenton Redlick on the breakaway. Buries it far side. 1-1, Warriors Outlaws. Redlick, a product of St. Albert, Alberta. Just recently started playing again after some injuries. Buries that goal in transition, far side. Nothing fancy about that, folks. Put it in the back of the net. That's what Redlick did there. Morrison Hugh in the faceoff dot. 1-1. Here we go. They're battling here. Still loose. Picked up by Quinn Patterson. Patterson over to Jamieson. Jamieson back to Patterson. Patterson over to, that's Porter there, to Rossman. Rossman down low, stopped by Bialik there. Loose ball is retrieved by, that looks to be Owen Morrow. Yeah, and he's stripped. Rossman picks it up, buries it short side. Hip high, Felix Rossman. Off the turnover. 2-1 Outlaws. The Outlaws have been streaking lately, folks. They're not going to be an easy out, I'll tell you that much. Huey and Morris back in the faceoff dot. Ball's won by Hugh, but picked up by Redlick. He's going to the net, guarded by Ellis and McKenna. Being pressed by Porter here now. Good work by the Outlaws there. Gets it over to Hogland on the right half wall. Tries to throw it to Bowie there. Miscommunication. Bowie was looking to set up the two-man game. Ball's loose in the corner. Grabbed by Warwa. Flips it to Hilkowicz. Being guarded by Kai Ellis. And that's a big stop by Reed McLeod. Tried to go 5-hole. Bilodeau knocks over Hain. That's going to be a reset. Bilodeau over to Bowie. Bowie to Warwa. To Andrusiak. Playing in the two-man game with them. Nicholson coming late. Good stick by Porter there. Picked up by Nicholson. Tries to go high on McLeod, and that's stopped. Ellis with the ball here, being pressed by Nicholson. Tries to go low to Lewis, or tries to go far down the floor to Lewis there. That's probably a high hit by Hildebrand. Nothing called there. Hildebrand being guarded by Morrow now behind the net. Rolls inside, and that's a stop by Bialik. Bialik's looking down floor to Cameron and overthrows it. He's being tracked down by Rossman. Good job there by Felix Rossman in reverse transition. Look for the Outlaws to slow it here, get everyone set up on the floor, run their set offense. Brownlee with it, goes over to Manning. Manning being guarded by Stashniak, looking for the pick from Lewis. Still being pressed. They got to help him out here. Over to Brownlee to Lewis. And there's the double. Swims through it. Lewis tries to go short side high on Bialik, and that's stopped. Ball's picked up by Cameron, but Outlaws are pressing here. Loose. Ball picked up by Markel here. He tries to jam it into Morris. A bit of a wild pass. Retrieved by Jamieson. Jamieson looking for Keller down the floor. Keller's going to slow it, wait for the offense to get out of the floor. Goes to Mitchell here. Mitchell's got a free lane to the net. Carter Mitchell tries to bury it 5-hole on Bialik. Nice stop there by Lucas. Hildebrand with the ball wearing the C this year. Hildebrand a 5th year. That pass got away from him. We're going Warriors ball here. Hildebrand in the bright green shoes, and that's thrown away by Markel, retrieved by Jamison. Mitchell with it. One-on-one if he wants it. Rolls underneath on Markel. Crease dive. Big stop by Bialik. Carter Mitchell all over the place to start this game again, folks. Ball's with Redlick. Redlick runs past Mitchell into Quinn Patterson. Quinn over to Nicholson. Nicholson comes over top. Tries to hit Bowie, guarded by Porter there. It's loose along the boards. Ball grabbed by McCullough. Over to Quinn, to Porter in transition. Big stop by Bialik. Tried to bury it far side low. That's a good stop by Bialik there, folks, on Porter in transition. Ball to Morrow here, crosses half, being pressed by Keller. Expect to see a lot of Noah Keller on the floor here tonight. Andrusiak over to Bassinger, being pressed there by Ellis. Andrusiak over to Hilkowicz. Hilkowicz to Warwa. Warwa to Kai Morris. And that was a good stick by Ellis there to disrupt that shot. Andrusiak runs out of shot clock. Ball's going to be picked up by Rhett McIsaac here, a product of Sherwood Park, Alberta. McIsaac gets it over to Brownlee, and he's going to change. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Manning to Brownlee. Nice stop by Bialik there. Ball picked up by Morrow, running in transition. He's got numbers. He's with Stashniak. It's just Brody Stashniak. Big stop by Reed McLeod. Far side low. I do believe Stashniak and McLeod were midget teammates there. Ball's loose. Okay, ball's with Markel there. Huey just batted it down the floor. Over to Hogland. To Warwa. To Andrusiak. Over to Hogland. Comes over top of the CL. Tries to go 5-hole. Nice stop there by McLeod. Patterson with the ball. Goes over to Mitchell. He's running into the double. Tries to go low to Hain. Bobbles it. Ball's still loose there. Ball's picked up by Redlick. Redlick being pressed by Lewis there. Probably a free hand there by Redlick. Again, there's some push off. Good job by Redlick. Rolls to the net though. Drops his shoulder. Tries to go far side on McLeod. Look for Keller on the breakaway. Just bobbles it. Grabbed by Keller still. Far side high. On the crease, Noah Keller buries it. 3-1, Outlaws lead. 10:01 remaining in the first period here on NetFront Sports. Outlaws are out shooting the Warriors 11-1. Hugh and Morris back in the face-off dot. Ball retrieved by Cameron. Cameron pulls it up, goes over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak to Nicholson. Nicholson, another 5th year on this team, being guarded by Ellis. Over to Hogland. Outside shot low. Stop by McLeod there. Good stop by Reed. He goes over to Jamison. Jamison's running in transition today, playing both ends. Part of the junior A minors last year. Over to Brownlee. Brownlee's got a lane downhill if he wants it. He's going to pull it out, wait for the offense to set up. Over to Jamison. Jams it to Lewis. Lewis wraps around the net, tries for the dunk there. If he would have shot off the initial catch, he had him beat far side. Ball with Morrow being tracked down by Jamison. Over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak being guarded by McIsaac. Over to Hilkowicz. To Bassinger. To Morris. Morris carries the ball high here. Comes over the seal. Outside shot just misses the net. Hilkowicz tries to grab the rebound there, but he's going to roll it into the corner. And that's going to be the media timeout here. 8:37 remaining in the first period. Junior Outlaws 3, Warriors 1 here on NetFront Sports. We will be back after this brief break. We are back here on NetFront Sports. Going to start with Carter Mitchell across his half. Gets the ball over to Manning. Manning skips it over to Rossman. Rossman carries it high. Jams it low to Mitchell on the ISO. Beats him underneath. Tries to bury it short side on the crease dive. Allen's running downhill. That's going to be a moving pick. Yeah, we're going Outlaws ball here. Shout out to Matt Hebert listening, tuning in here. Longtime Senior B Miners goalie. Balls with Carter Mitchell running downhill. Pulls it out. Mitchell over to Lewis, and he misses the pass. Lewis was just outside the 24-foot there. Grabbed by Markel. He's running in transition. He's going to pull it out, get the ball to the offense. It's with Andrusiak. Andrusiak playing the two-man game with Nicholson, being guarded by Patterson and Ellis. Over to Hogland. Hogland toe drag, being guarded by McKenna and Porter. Over to Warwa, down low to Nicholson. Tried to jam it in there to Luke Bowie, formerly of the Crude Lacrosse Club, acquired in the offseason. Hogland tries to rip it 5-hole from an odd angle, but he did draw a penalty. That's ref Tony Reed's calling it. It's going to be on Quinn Patterson, a legal cross check. Quinn's not happy with the penalty. Warriors power play here. Luke Bowie up the top. Warwan, Hogland and the shooters. Bassinger and Hilkowicz on the crease. Let's see what Coach Vadiep has them drawn up here. Hogland up to Bowie up top. To Warwa. Back to Bowie to Warwa. To Hilkowicz. Back to Warwa. To Bowie. To Warwa. Warwa short side. That's one Reed McLeod's going to want back there. If I could guess, McLeod's job when the ball's in the shooter spot is to cover that short side. And the D guy, which was Keller in that case, is going to block the far side attempt. McLeod's going to want that back. He's shaking his head. 3-2 Outlaws lead. That's a Warriors power play goal. Mitchell and Morris in the faceoff dot. Ball won by Morris, but Jameson's the first one to grab it. Runs it low, goes high to Manning. To Lewis. Runs around the double, loses the ball, picked up by affiliate Jacob Vetter. Vetter, breakaway here on McLeod. Buries it, short side high. A little shoulder hesitation, goes high on the short side on McLeod. In transition, nice strip on Lewis, and the ball goes the other way. 3-3, Warriors 2 quick goals. Do you believe that's Vetter's first junior goal as the ball went to Coach Vay on the bench there? 6:51 remaining here, 3-3. Hugh and Morris in the faceoff dot.
Warriors goal, scored by number 42, Jacob Vetter.
Ball's grabbed by Cameron.
6:51, Vetter.
Ellis and Morris going at it. Kai Ellis likes to walk the line. Huge fan of the way he plays. Big hack on Redlick, too. Nicholson to Hoagland on the half wall. Got to step out on him. He loves to shoot the ball. Over to Warwa. Warwa outside shot, buries it. Far side low on McLeod. Caught him leading. Warwa leads this team in points as a rookie. Very impressive this year. He was a high draft pick, too. I do believe he was 10th overall. I don't have the list right in front of me, but I do believe he was 10th overall pick in the past draft. "4-3 Warriors lead, 6:22 remaining in the first here. Morris and Hugh back in the face-off dot.
Warriors goal, score by number 23.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but Lewis picks, no, he bobbles it. Ball's grabbed by Markel. He's going to run around the net. He's going to slow it up, gets it to Hilkowicz. He's being pressed out by McCullough. McCullough pushes him down to Patterson. Over to Bassinger. One-on-one on McIsaac. Jams it into Hilkowicz. Beats Patterson there on the back cut. Another stop by McLeod on the rebound. Ball grabbed by Redlick on the turnover. Big stop by McLeod there. Bit of a miscommunication. Another lost ball picked up by Redlick. Redlick drops the shoulder on McCullough. Ball's over to Warwa, to Hoagland. Hoagland comes over top of Patterson. Outside shot, tries to go short side there. That's Hoagland's patented shot. Just needs a little bit of space to let her rip. Warwa over to Andrusiak. Drags him low, comes over around the seal, tries to go short side on McLeod. Big stop. It's an awkward looking shot there. Goes to Jamieson in transition. He's got Keller running with him. Tries to jam it in there. Nice snag by Keller, but stopped by Bialik. Andrusiak running with the ball. He's got a lane to the net on Jamieson there. If he wanted to take it, he's going to decide to pull it out to Hilkowicz. Over to Bassinger. To Bowie. Back to Hilkowicz. To Bowie. Outside shot. Stop by Reed McLeod there. McLeod looking down the floor. He's going to throw that away. No, Ellis is going to retrieve it. Good job there by Ellis. Being guarded by Bowie. To Mitchell. He's got Hildebrand with him on the wrong side, though. Hildebrand seals to Mitchell. Buries it far side low on the delayed penalty there, so that's going to get wiped out. Carter Mitchell in transition. Nice goal. That's his second of the game. 4-4. High-scoring game. This is going to be, it seems like. 18-14 Warriors lead in shots. Morris and Hugh in the face-off dot. Ball's grabbed by Stashniak. Nope. Still loose. I think Porter's got it in his stick. Ball's loose again. Grabbed by Patterson. Being guarded by Cameron. Still has it along the boards and ran into a triple, and he loses it. Ball's grabbed by Redlick, but good stick by Brownlee to knock it away. Grabbed by Patterson. Over to Hain. Hain to Brownlee. Brownlee being defended by Cameron here. To Mitchell. Mitchell's going to outside shot. Stopped by Bialik. Tried to go short side there. Carter Mitchell loves to shoot the ball. Huge fan of this kid. Ball goes to Cameron there along the wall. Throws it away. Grabbed by McCullough. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell tried to jam it into Manning there. Ball's grabbed by Hildebrand behind the net. Over to Mitchell. Waiting for that pick to come from Hildebrand, and he tosses it up to Lewis. Being guarded by Allen there. Down low to the net. He's going to try to dunk it. And that's picked by Viracek in the air. He's going to fumble the ball, though. He's got to get it over. 8 seconds to Morrow. Just in time. Over to Warwa. Warwa down low to Nicholson. To Andrusiak. Being guarded there by McKenna. Down low to Warwa. Tries to go underneath on Ellis and beats him. Crease dive stopped by McLeod, though. Loose ball is going to be picked up by Porter. Over to Ellis. He's got Jamison with him. He wants to move it. Good work in transition there. Jamison to Brownlee. To Ellis. Bounce pass to Lewis, being guarded by Muir. Muir to Manning. Over to Ellis. Ellis tries to go short side high there, but that's stopped by Bialik. Brownlee on over top, and that's going to be blocked there by a Warrior. Brownlee's going to retrieve it, though. To Jamison. Comes underneath the pick, runs into a double. That was a good slide there by Redlick. Loose ball is going to be grabbed by Muir there. Jamison bobbled it. Muir's going to pull it out. Flips it to Hilkowicz. 1:30 remaining in this game, in this first period here on NetFront Sports. Ball grabbed by Hugh. No, Warwa presses it and picks it up. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Bowie, and he buries it on the quick stick. Good work there by Warwa to force that turnover and finds Bowie. 5-4 Warriors lead. 1:15 remaining in the first period here. Shots are to 20-17 for the Warriors. Mitchell and Morris in the draw. They're going to battle. It's going to be won by the Warriors, grabbed by Allen. He's running downhill. He's going to pull it out. Over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak down low to Nicholson. Nicholson drives low. Good stick check there by McKenna. Ball's loose, grabbed by Porter. Overthrows it, but Hain was running there in transition. Ball's grabbed by Bialik behind the net. Vetter with it, crosses half, goes over to Redlick. 34 seconds left in this game. Over to Warwa. To Morris. To Bowie. Bowie outside shot, stopped by McLeod. 20 seconds left in the period here. McIsaac over to Ellis, and that's thrown away. Ball's still loose, grabbed by Bialik. Bialik over to Cameron. To Warwa. Sidesteps Patterson there to Hilkowicz on the crease, and that's stopped by Reed McLeod. Fast-paced first period here, folks, in the Bill Hunter Arena. Edmonton Warriors 5, Junior Outlaws 4. Shots are 22-17 in favor of the Warriors here on NetFront Sports. We will be back in about 10 minutes. We're back here on NetFront Sports for the start of the second period between the Beaumont Junior Outlaws and the Edmonton Warriors. Warriors lead 5-4. Hugh and Morris in the faceoff dot picked up by Allen. On with the ball, pulls it out. Over to Hogland. To Warwa. Download Andrusiak. To Nicholson. Over to Hogland. Download to Bowie. Up top to Andrusiak. To Warwa. To Hogland. Big stop by Reed McLeod there, just inside the 24-foot. Over to Bowie on the crease. Being guarded by Hugh. Rolls underneath on him. Twister tried to go 5-hole. Ball grabbed by Porter. Crosses half, being guarded by Markel there. Porter over to Hildebrand. Big stop by Bialik. Tried to go short side high on him. Ball's going to be swept by Lewis there. Being pressed out by Bilodeau. Over to Brownlee, but he bobbles it. Being guarded by Vetter there. Gets the pick from Rossman. Outside shot, bouncer high. Nice shot by Brownlee there. Bouncer shooting around the screen. We've got a tie game here, 5-5, folks. 18:39 left in the second period. Morris and Hugh in the face-off dot here. We've got a barn burner on the network tomorrow between the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the St. Albert Crude. The Rebels recently picked up a few guys from Ontario at the deadline. I do not believe they will be in the lineup tomorrow, but we will see. Ball grabbed by McKenna. I know manager Kevin Parker and company are very happy with the pickups they made, and they're just waiting to see who they're going to face in the first round, whether it's the Rampage or the Outlaws. Ball with Porter over to Mitchell. Being guarded by Cameron with a swing move. Good D by Cameron. Ball's picked up there by Allen. Look for him to press, being defended by Porter there. Looks like Lockmere is over in the corner with Warriors manager Tony Materi. Must be injured. Good strip there by Porter, and it's picked up by Jamison. Jamison running. Big stop by Bialik. Tried to go far side. Bialik over to Markel. Markel tosses it to I'm not sure who that is, but it was interfered with by Hain. Good work. Ball grabbed by Bowie. Bowie going low on McKenna. Beats him underneath. Crease dive. Goes far side. Scores, but the ref waves it off. Zach Kohut for crease violation. Ball grabbed by McKenna. McKenna over to Hildebrandt in his bright green shoes, being guarded by Vetter. Hildebrandt drives low, runs into Cameron. Up top to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to shoot that. Tried to go far side high on Bialik. Good stop. Rebound grab by Brownlee. Misses the net. Ball's picked up by Morrow. He's going to run in transition here. He's going to slow up. Good job by Lewis there to track him down. Flips it to Redlick. He's being pressed out by Keller. Redlick's trips still being worked over by Keller. Good work. Good D there by Noah. Ball goes low to Morris. Being pressed out by Lewis. Bounce shot stopped by McLeod. Ball grabbed by Jamison. He's got Lewis down the floor. Just misses the pass. Lewis to Keller in transition. Stopped by Bialik. Ball goes over to Allen. Allen to Markel. Markel over to Warwa. To Bassinger. To Andrusiak, being guarded there by Porter. He pulls it out over to Warwa, down low to Hilkowicz. Hilkowicz tries to jam it in there to Bassinger. Ball's grabbed by Porter. Porter's running in transition. Over to Patterson. Patterson to Manning. Manning over to Brownlee, that is. Down low to Mitchell. To Lewis. Nice face dodge by Lewis and tries to go far side. Another good stop by Bialik there. Ball grabbed by Hilkowicz. He's going to run in transition. Pulls up. Goes to Andrusiak off the bench. Just misses the net there. Tried to go short side on him. Being guarded by McKella and McKenna. Ball's grabbed by Keller. Keller runs over Hoagland. And finds Rossman in transition. Big stop by Bialik there. Over to Redlick, he's lumbering. Looks like he's hurt or something. Oh, he's running to the net now. Tries to go, that is Warwa, and he's going to pull it out. To Bassinger, to Bowie. Bowie comes over top of that seal. Over to Warwa, tries to jam it into Andrusiak and mishandles the ball there. Shot clock violation. We're going Outlaws ball here. Grabbed by Kai Ellis. Ellis to McIsaac here at or about center. He's going to get over to Brownlee and change. Good work there by McIsaac. Mitchell being guarded by Markell there. Comes around the seal set by Brownlee. Over to Lewis. Comes and finds a pick from Manning. Had him on the roll there. He tried to jam it into Brownlee. He takes another half second there, and Manning's wide open. Well grabbed by Hildebrand. Ref's counting. And that's a stop by Bialik. That's going to be a reset. Ball over to Lewis. Good work there on the retrieval by the Outlaws. Ball's with Manning over to Mitchell. Mitchell comes over top, over to Manning. Being guarded there by Morrow. Loose ball in the corner. Still loose. They're just mucking it. It's going Warriors ball. Grabbed by Cameron. Ball goes over to Warwa. Down low to Ann Nicholson. Over to Hoagland, being guarded by Hain. Hoagland comes over top. Outside shot. Tried to pull it short side on him. Hain can flip it up to Porter in transition. Porter, breakaway on Bialik, and buries it far side in transition. Good work by Hain to get the ball up the floor there. Outlaws lead 6-5, 12:51 remaining in the second period here. Hugh and Morris wins it right to Markell. Good work there by Morris. Nice wrap check there by Lewis. Goes down low to Andrusiak. Andrusiak over to Redlick. Gets it to Bowie. Bowie being guarded there by Keller and Lewis. Gets away, tries to find Hilkowicz there cutting. Going to be interference, Warriors ball. Hoagland goes to Hilkowicz in the corner. Being guarded by Lewis there. To Hoagland. Being guarded by Keller. Good block there by Kai Ellis and Hoagland. Hilkowicz with it behind the net. Goes to Andrusiak. Rolls on Mitchell. Big stop there by McLeod. McLeod over to Keller. Drops it into Brownlee. And he buries it. Far side low. Nice pass there by Keller. Noah Keller's been absolutely the best player on the floor so far here for the Outlaws. Hugh and Morris back in the face-off dot. Ball won by Hildebrand. Goes behind the back to Porter there on a weird pass being guarded by Stashnik to Patterson. Patterson to Manning. To Brownlee. Comes around the seal set by Rossman. That's blocked by a Warriors defender. Grabbed by Lewis. 6-7 seconds on the shot clock. Outside shot stopped by Bialik there. Loose ball. Grabbed by Manning. Really good work by the Outlaws here. And they are currently leading 7-5 in this game. Hildebrand over to Lewis. Lewis being guarded by Stashnik. There's probably a hold there. No. Good stop by Bialik. Ball grabbed by Morris. Over to Redlick. Over to Warwa. Goes over top of McIsaac to Bassinger. Tries to go 5-hole on McLeod, and that's stopped. Grabbed by Ellis to Hain in transition. Tries to go over top. Rebounds grabbed by Mitchell, though. Tries probably one too many, too many fakes there by Mitchell. Goes far side, stopped. To Morrow. He had Nicholson coming off the bench. Finds the second guy, Andrusiak. That pass is bobbled. Loose ball in the corner by Nicholson. Over to McKenna. McKenna's going to cross half here. Couple, we're going to go coincidentals here. Looks like it's Jameson and Andrusiak. Going to play some 4-on-4 lacrosse here. Ball's going to start up top with Mitchell. Being guarded by Cameron there. Over to Manning. Back to Mitchell. Rossman's got to make some space for him. Over to Lewis. Comes around the pick there, set by Manning. Tries to go 5-hole on Bialik, but that's stopped. Ball's with Morrow here. He's going to go over to Andrusiak. Or sorry, that's Warwa. Warwa to Bowie. Bowie tries to jam it in there to Hilkowicz, but that's blocked by Porter. He's going to pick it up. They've got Lewis running in transition with them. Porter goes far side high on Bialik. That's one he's going to want back. 8-5 Outlaws lead here at the Bill Hunter Arena in the second period. Hugh and Morris in the dot. 4-on-4 lacrosse still.
Outlaws goal scored by number 2, Jesse Porter, unassisted.
Ball retrieved by McKenna there.
Porter unassisted at 9:14.
To Mitchell. To Brownlee. Over to Manning. Back to Brownlee, being guarded by Stashnik. Low to Mitchell. Mitchell comes around Markel. Goes to Manning. To Mitchell. He's going to face dodge there. Rolls underneath on Stashniak. Tries to go 5-hole on Bialik, but that's stopped. Ball is picked up by Stashniak. Stashniak crosses half here. Is being met by Hain. Over to Redlick. Down low to Nicholson. Runs around Patterson, and that's a stop by McLeod. But Bassinger picks up the rebound and buries it far side low. 8-6, Outlaws lead. 8:13 remaining in the second period here on NetFront Sports. Hugh and Morris back in the faceoff dot. Ball grabbed by Ellis. Ellis up top to Mitchell. Mitchell to Manning. Over to Lewis. Outside shot. Lewis tried to pull it short side there. Got stopped by Bialik. Tried to find Mitchell there, cutting, just overthrows it. He was open on the crease, so it's going to be a reset. Wait for them to settle here. Play some 5-on-5. Ball's with Manning over to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt pulls it on Allen, beats him underneath. Big stop there by Bialik. Rossman with the ball. Goes behind the net to Hildebrandt. Rolls underneath. Big stop by Bialik again. Ball grabbed by Allen. Lobs it to Redlick. They've got numbers if they want it. Bowie with the ball to Warwa, and he jams it short side on the crease dive. Nice goal there by Warwa. 8-7, Outlaws lead. 7:09 remaining here in the second. Warriors are pushing here. Hugh and Hoagland in the draw there, grabbed by Keller. Met by Stashniak there. And Vetter and Redlick. Hit on the ground by Stashniak. That's going to be a penalty. Looks like it's going to be Redlick going to the box. Illegal cross check. He hit him when he was on the ground. 8-7 Warriors lead here on NetFront Sports. 6:55 remaining here in the second period. We're on a media timeout. We will be back when the game returns. Brownlee goes over to Rossman, back up top to Brownlee. To Lewis, back to Brownlee. To Lewis, tries to go far side, stopped there by Bialik. Loose ball grabbed by Rossman. To Brownlee. To Lewis, back to Brownlee. To Lewis. Drags around the pick by Rossman, goes behind the net to Mitchell. Look for him to dunk it. To Brownlee up top to Lewis. Tried to pull it short side there, but misses the net. Ball's over to Mitchell. Outside shot, tries to go high. Porter grabs the rebound. Goes low on Bialik, but that's stopped. Bilodeau running with the ball, being pressed by Lewis and Porter. Still being pressed along the boards there. That's Lewis is going to go to the box with a slash there. Good job by Bilodeau drawing the penalty. Going to play some 4-on-4 lacrosse here. Two-minute slashing. Slash Bilodeau as he was ragging the ball there. 5:45 remaining here in the second period. Hogland over to Andrusiak.
Penalty to the Outlaws, number 46, Kieran Lewis. 2 minutes.
Ball grabbed by Jamieson there.
Time of the penalty, 5:35. That's Lewis for slashing.
Tried to go to McKenna. Being guarded there by Vetter. Over to Manning. Manning to Hildebrand. To Mitchell, being guarded there by Viracek. Mitchell comes around, over to Manning. Manning rolls around Vetter. Tries to go 5-hole on Bialik, but that's stopped. Ball's grabbed there by Morris. Morris flips it to Hogland there. It's going to be a power play for the Warriors now. Redlick comes back on the floor. Up to Bowie, over to Warwa. To Hilkowicz, to Warwa. To Bowie. Nice stop there by McLeod. McLeod over to McKenna. Goes to Rossman on the crease. That's a big stop by Bialik. Markel down the floor to Allen, and he balls it. He's going to pull it out over to Andrusiak, to Warwa, to Hogland, to Warwa, to Hogland. He's going to shoot that. Tried to go short side. Big stop there by McLeod. Ball picked up there by Patterson. He's looking down the floor, being guarded there by Hogland. Over to Ellis. Ellis gets it up the floor to Mitchell. Mitchell with it along the boards. Over to Manning. Moving pick, it's going Warriors ball. Ball goes to Hilkowicz behind the net. To Warwa. To Nicholson. Back to Warwa. To Hilkowicz. Tried to jam it in there to Bowie. Ball's grabbed by Porter. He's got numbers if he wants it with Jamieson and tries to jam it in there to McKenna. Grabbed by Porter still, being guarded there by Cameron. To Manning. Manning over to Jamieson. To Mitchell. Comes around Hilkowicz. Outside shot stopped by Bialik there. Ball grabbed by Cameron. Goes over to Markel. Markel throws it off of McCalla. It's going to be a loose ball. It's going to be Warriors ball here. Ball's down low. Allen tried to hit Morris on the cut there, but it's to Warwa on the half wall. To Hilkowicz. Tried to jam it in there to Andrusiak. It's picked up by McIsaac. They've got numbers. Goes low to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Hain. Hain tries to dunk it on Bialik, but misses the net. Ball's with Viracek. And he throws it away to Kai Ellis. They've got numbers again. Over to McKenna. McKenna with the ball. 1:46 left here in the second period on NetFront Sports. Brownlee being guarded by Vetter. Runs into the double. Ball goes low to Hildebrandt. To Manning. Outside shot by Manning is blocked by Redlick. Ball's grabbed by Hogland. He's got numbers with Andrusiak. It's a pretty high hit there on Hogland. Nice swim move. Good work by Hogland to get out of that. Over to Redlick. To Andrusiak. Walks in. Big stop by McLeod. Tried to go short side on him. Good work there by Hogland to draw the defenders. Found the open guy. Hain with the ball across the center. Pulls it out over to Mitchell. Mitchell down to Hildebrand. Hildebrand with the ball. To Manning. Over to Mitchell. Back to Manning. And that is in. That's a squeaker. 9-7 Outlaws lead here in the second period on NetFront Sports. .7 seconds remaining here in the second period. Hugh and Morris at the face-off dot. Morris wins the clamp, but it's going to be picked up by McKenna. It's going to be a timeout here by the Outlaws. Here. Ball's with Mitchell up top. Over to Hildebrand. Down low to Brownlee behind the net to Mitchell. He misses it. Grabbed by Manning, and that's stopped. Ball goes to Allen. He's got an open net. And that ball is soaked by Tody Reed. (9-7) Outlaws lead after 2 periods here on NetFront Sports from the Bill Hunter Arena. We will be back in about 10 minutes. Welcome everyone here back on NetFront Sports for the third period of this matchup between the Edmonton Warriors and the Beaumont Junior Outlaws. Outlaws lead 9-7 in this game, and they're road whites. That is Owen McKenna with the ball, being pressed there by Kai Morris. Morris jams it over to Manning. Just misses the net there. Rebound's grabbed by Kai Ellis. Ellis wraps around the net. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell tries to bury it short side there. Delayed penalty, though. Looks like the Outlaws are going to the power play. Mitchell with the ball. Down low to Jamison. Back to Mitchell. To Jamison. Back to Mitchell. Over to Lewis. To Mitchell. Mitchell around the seal. Bounce shot stopped by Bialik. Ball grabbed by Redlick, but he's going to the box off an illegal cross check again. Outlaws power play. Brownlee at the top, Lewis, Mitchell in the shooter spots, Hildebrandt and Porter on the crease. To Brownlee, to Lewis, to Mitchell, to Lewis. Bounce shot stopped by Bialik. Bialik with the ball, hands it off to Cameron. Cameron's going to run down floor here. Being guarded there by Lewis. Cameron, runs around the net. Being tripled there by Patterson and Hildebrandt. Patterson comes up with the ball, goes over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball is going to wait for the rest of the power play to get out there. Up top to Brownlee, over to Lewis, to Porter on the crease, back to Mitchell, and he just bobbles that. Mitchell behind the net, to Brownlee, back to Mitchell. They're looking for the set dunk there. Ball grabbed by Bilodeau. Flips it to Viracek, and he drops it, grabbed by Brownlee. He's being doubled, and he gets it down the floor to Mitchell. That was a nice play. Carter Mitchell grabs that ball, wraps around the net. He goes up top to Lewis, to Rossman. That's Manning, not Rossman. To Lewis, to Hildebrandt up top, back to Lewis, to Hildebrandt, to Mitchell. Mitchell's jump shot that hits Hildebrandt, his teammate, in the back of the head. It's going to be over and back, Warriors ball. Andrusiak with the ball. Five-on-five lacrosse. He goes to Redlick. Over to Hoagland. Hoagland underneath. Big stop there by McLeod. McLeod over to Keller, but he bobbles it. Ball grabbed by Warwa. Nice pick and roll with Andrusiak there. Being guarded by McKenna. He goes over to Bassinger, who goes to Hoagland. Bassinger sets the pick, and he rolls to the net. He is open. Good block there by Keller. McIsaac with the ball. He loses it, being pressed by Nicholson. Nicholson tries to go low on Keller, but loses it. Grabbed by McIsaac, and he bobbles it. Picked up by Warwa. He goes over to Hoagland, who's being guarded by Ellis there. Outside shot there, stopped by McLeod. Good work by Hoagland on that Lucy. Morris steps into it, misses. Good rebound there, though, by Nicholson. He bobbles it, picked up by Hugh. Hugh goes to McKenna. He's got Lewis off the bench here. Lewis in tight. Big stop by Bialik, far side. Ball still loose. Gonna grab by Warwa. Warwa being guarded there by Mitchell. He's gonna run into the double with Ellis. Good work to get out of it. Up top to Hilkowicz, to Hoagland. Down low to Bowie. Bowie to Hilkowicz, over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak to Warwa on the crease. Big stop there by McLeod. Hilkowicz with the ball over to Hoagland. Good D there by Patterson. Strips Hoagland of the ball. Patterson running. Outside shot. Tries to bury it on Bialik, but that was a good save there. Good work by Patterson there to get down the floor. Hilkowicz with the ball. Lob pass to Nicholson. Grabbed by Morris. Big stop there by McLeod. Ball's going to be picked up by Hayne to Jamison. Jamison with the ball to Hildebrand. Being pressed by Rossman. To Jamison. Cameron's going to pick up the ball. He's going to run away from Rossman there. Good job there by Blake Cameron. He goes low to Andrusiak. Andrusiak with the ball behind the net there to Bowie. Bowie sidesteps McIsaac. Big stop there, though, by McLeod on the crease. Patterson with the ball goes to Porter. Porter gets around Bialik, or gets around his defender, but that's a big stop by Bialik. Allen with the ball. Gets ran down there by Porter to Warwa. Warwa with the ball. He's got Bassinger there, was open. To Redlick. To Warwa. Big pick by Redlick. And Warwa buries it short side. Big pick by Redlick there, probably moving. Ref doesn't call it though. Ewan Morris in the face-off dot. Gets it over to Mitchell. Big stop by Bialik. Bialik in transition. Mitchell in transition, stop there by Bialik. Morrow with the ball. Good stick check there by Lewis. Over and back, Lewis is gonna chase that ball down. He's going to start with it being pressed there by Vetter. To Hildebrand. Big pick by Brownlee there. Lewis over to Brownlee. Tried to jam it in there to Hildebrand. That was a nice set play. Brownlee with it over to Hildebrand. Hildebrand outside shot. Tries to go 5-hole there on Bialik. Bialik goes to Morrow. Morrow crosses center. Over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak jammed it into the Bowie there for the quick stick. That was a good stop by McLeod. And it's just overthrown by Patterson. It's going to be chased down by Cameron there. 12:03 remaining here in the third period on NetFront Sports. Warwa with the ball. To Bowie on the half wall, up to Warwa. to Redlick. Redlick to Bassinger, back to Redlick. Oh, that's caught by Warwa. I don't think he was the intended target there. Drives low on Jameson. Crease dive. We got a bit of a scuffle there going on. It's going to be Outlaws' ball. Goes to Jameson. Jameson with it to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Lewis. Back to Mitchell. Tried to jam it in there to Jameson with the one-handed flip. Picked up by Stashniak in transition. Over to Morris. Big stop there by McLeod. Picked up by McKenna there. McKenna's going to hold the ball. He's going to get it to Mitchell. Mitchell walking along the half wall. Trying to play the two-man game with Hildebrand. Mitchell tried to go short side, and they're going to say the goalie got a stop there. Got a touch on it. Ball's loose, and Mitchell's going to grab it. A bit of a scuffle going on in the corner there. Looks like they're going white ball here. Starts with Brownlee, goes to Mitchell. To Lewis. To Jameson. He misses a pass, grabbed by Bilodeau. Bilodeau tried to flip it to Morrow there. Good work by Mitchell to track him down, though, to stop any transition opportunity. Ball's flipped to Andrusiak. Andrusiak tries to lob it into Nicholson. McLeod's going to pick it up, though. Over to Jameson. He's got Patterson right in front of the penalty box here. Patterson running with it, gets around Vetter. Good work by Quinn Patterson there not to shoot the ball. Get the ball to one of the O guys, to Hildebrand. Over to Manning. Manning to Patterson. Over to Rossman. That's a big shot from the outside. Good job by the Outlaws, though, to get that rebound. Ball's with Manning. They're going to wait to get the offense on the floor to set up again. They tried a hidden ball trick there. Ball retrieved by Porter. Flips it over to Mitchell. Mitchell goes over top of Allen. He's going to step in and rip it. Big stop by Bialik. Another big stop by Bialik. Two big saves. He robs Rossman on the rebound there on the putback attempt. Ball's with Warwa. Over to Andrusiak. To Bassinger. To Bowie. He's going to drive low. Big stop by McLeod. Loose ball. Going to be grabbed by Warwa. Good work to retrieve that. Over to Bassinger. To Bowie low. Still loose. Looks like Kai Ellis is going to try to muck it. Ball's picked up by Hain. He's going to cross half here. Now he's being pressed by Andrusiak. He goes over to Brownlee. Brownlee with the ball here, being guarded by Morrow. Defended by Vetter now, over to Hildebrand. Hildebrand tries to go low on Bialik, and that's a big stop. Ball grabbed by Markel. Markel tried to bounce it to Morrow. It goes back to Markel to get the offense on there. Markel's looking to get rid of it. He's going to go behind the net to Hilkowicz. Hilkowicz with it. That's a big block by Markel. And we're going to have a media timeout here. 9-8 Outlaws lead the third period. 7-13 left in the third period on NetFront Sports here. We will be back soon after the media timeout. Thank you. Ball starts off top with Rossman over to Hildebrand. Over to Lewis, goes behind the net to Brownlee. Brownlee with it. Over to Lewis. To Hildebrand. Hildebrand driving low. Tried to jam it in there to Brownlee, no. Lewis, he's going to step in and let it rip from the outside, stop by Bialik. Rossman's going to retrieve that rebound. To Hildebrand. Over to Manning. Back to Rossman. Rossman with the face dodge, and he buries it. That's a squeaker. Felix Rossman gets on the board here. 10-8 Outlaws lead. 6:33 remaining here in the third period. Outlaws are winning the shot count 58-44 right now. Hugh and Morris in the face-off dot. Looked like Hugh jumped early there, but I guess not. Nicholson comes away with the ball anyway. Nicholson goes up to Hogland. Good check there by Mitchell to get his stick on the ball. It's grabbed by Warwa, though, and he's going to lob it over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak tries to go short side there on McLeod. Another nice stop by McLeod. Ball's grabbed by Andrusiak. He goes up top to Warwa. Over to Hogland. Hogland being guarded by Patterson. Comes around him. Good double there. Nice slide by Ellis and Porter. Some good adjustments made by this Outlaws coaching staff. Porter running in transition. He has numbers. Big stop by Bialik there. Bialik tries to go down the floor, and he's going to throw it away. Grabbed by Jamison. Yeah, some good defensive adjustments made by Dean Casey, Kim Ellis, Jaden Green, and company. Jamison to the net. And ball ends up in the corner there. Grabbed by Markel. Picked up by Hilkowicz, and this is a breakaway for Bilodeau. Bilodeau misses net, tries to go far side on McLeod. That's going to be over and back, though. 5:15 remaining here in the third period. Outlaws lead 10-8. Ball with Rossman. Gets along the half wall to Mitchell. Mitchell steps around that seal and shoots. Nice stop by Bialik. Manning overruns the ball. Picked up by Hilkowicz. Over to Morrow. Morrow to Hilkowicz. To Redlick. To Bassinger. Tries to jam it into Hilkowicz. Mitchell's going to pick it up. 4:34 remaining in this game. Carter Mitchell with the ball. Just crosses half. Over to Hildebrand. Being pressed there by Vetter. Hildebrand to the net. Nice stop by Bialik. Loose ball is going to be grabbed by Rossman. To Lewis. Lewis tries to go behind the back there. And he gets sandwiched by Stashniak and Markel. Look for the Outlaws to start draining 30s here. 4 minutes remaining in this game. Rossman with the ball. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell drives low. And he misses the net on the jump shot. Ball's going to be grabbed by Vetter off the 30-second count. Vetter goes over to Hogland. Over to Bass, Andrusiak, sorry. Beats him over top, misses the net, and grabs his own rebound. Big stop, though, by Reed McLeod there. Morris with the ball. Tries to find Nicholson there. And then Andrusiak buries it short side on McLeod. 10-9, Outlaws lead. 3:14 left in the third period here. That's when McLeod wants back. He's shaking his head on the bench here. We've got a tight game here at the Bill Hunter, folks. 3:14 remaining. Hugh and Morris in the dot. Loose ball still grabbed by Cameron. Cameron has Nicholson. It tries to go far side. Misses net. Ball goes to Hilkowicz. Hilkowicz with it. Being guarded by Ellis. Tries to jam it in there to Bassinger, and that's stopped by McLeod. McLeod's going to just misses McIsaac. Going to be retrieved by the Warriors. 2:33 left in this game. Ball's with Bilodeau. Over to Warwa. Andrusiak. To Warwa. Tried to jam it in there to Redlick. But it's going to be loose ball here. Grabbed by Warwa. Just missed the pass to Bowie. The Outlaws ball here, grabbed by Hayne. Hayne with it to Rossman. Over to Hildebrand. To Lewis. Back to Hildebrand. To Mitchell. To Lewis. Outside shot, and that's stopped by Bialik. Ball retrieved by Hildebrand. To Mitchell. We've got 1:28 remaining in this game. Outlaws lead 10-9. Look for them to use the 30 here. Mitchell being guarded by Stashniak. Up top to Hildebrand. Nice sub shot, short side. It's going to be Outlaws ball, though. Another stop by Bialik. It's going to start with Rossman in the corner. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell's just going to hold it here if they're not going to press him. Mitchell tried to jam it in there to Manning. Ball grabbed by Markel. And that's going to be a timeout by the Edmonton Warriors here. We'll see what Coach Vay Dieppe draws up here. Look for them to pull the goalie. 54.5 seconds remaining in this game. Ball's going to start with Warwa. 6-on-5 for the Warriors here. Warwa, Bowie, Hogland, Hilkowicz, Andrusiak, and Bassinger. Warwa looked for Hogland there, and he bobbles it. Ball's grabbed by Porter. He's met by Warwa. He's still running with it. That's going to be a timeout there called by the Outlaws. 36.5 seconds remaining. Look for the Outlaws to try to kill the clock here. Warriors have pulled the goalie. They're going to double the ball here. Smart move by Coach Vay. Ball's going to start with Mitchell. Going to be Cameron and Stashniak that double them. Mitchell shoots the ball and misses the net. Carter Mitchell is banged up in the corner. I'm not sure what happened there. Good sign. He's going to walk off on his own 2 feet, though. It's going to be a face-off here. Morris and Hugh. Draw won by the Clamps won by the Warriors, but Porter picks up the Lucy. He's going to run into a triple. He's running the clock here. He's still moving. Good work there by Porter. Ball is loose now. They're going to keep mucking it up. Kai Ellis misses the empty net, but the Outlaws pull it out here and pick up the win from the Bill Hunter Arena. 10-9, Outlaws win. 63-48, they keep their hopes for third place alive to meet up with the Warriors here. They're looking for a sweep of the Rampage by the SWAT this weekend in Saskatoon at the Gordie Howe Arena. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in here on NetFront Sports. Again, we've got Outlaws 10, Warriors 9 final. You can catch us live tomorrow, but for the game between the Rebels and the Crude. Not sure what else is live on the network, but thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Stay dry. Have a great night.